Hi, I'm Mike Heiting with Sonny's Water. Today I'm going to show you how to rebed a water softener tank. There are multiple different ways that you can start with emptying the water softener tank. This is our resin extractor. It is something that you can purchase from Sonny's online, or you could use a shop vac, or if the tanks are smaller, you can simply just tip them over and dump them out. But I'm going to go through it and show you how to use it with the resin extractor. So with our resin extractor, we need to install our 3/4 inch pipe on the outside of the distributor pipe that comes through the middle. We're going to push this down into the resin, and this top piece is going to just thread right on to the collar. Once you have the extractor installed, we just need to hook water up to the water spout on this side. You want to do this with the water off and the valve off. Once you have that all tight, you can turn on the water to the extractor, leaving the red valve off. Once all your water hooked up, you can install your drop hose, which is going to just attach to the top. And you're going to want to have something that all the resin can go into. So we just have an old barrel here that we cut a top off of, that we're going to put this all in. So once we're all set at this point, we can make sure that this is pushed down and not all the way down into the gravel. And then we can slowly open the water valve. Very little. So once we turn the water on slowly, and we don't want to rush it because we don't want to plug up the tube. So it's going to take a little while. It needs to actually pressurize the tank to get that reverse pressure to push the resin out. While we're doing this, we want to make sure that we don't have this pushed all the way down into the gravel where it could have any kind of a blockage to create too much pressure. Once it starts free flowing as it is, we can turn up the pressure a little bit more. Try to get a good stream of resin coming out of our hose. At this point, we can slowly start to work the tube down too, so we can get all the way to the bottom. This is going to go right down to the bottom of the resin, not through the gravel. The gravel is actually going to stay in the tank. And here we are, we got a good flow, and we can just leave it just like this until it stops. So once we have all the resin out of the tank, we can go on to the next step, which is going to be siphoning out all the water and dumping out the gravel. So once you have the tank all empty and all the resin out of it, we're going to siphon the water out of it. We need to put a hose down the distributor pipe. Down that distributor pipe, you can put that down there and siphon it out, or if you have a little pump, you could pump all the water out of it. Once you have all the water out of it, there's going to be some gravel left. We still need to pull the distributor tube out and change the distributor tube and all the gravel, so the easiest way to get the gravel out of it is going to be just manhandle the tank, tip it over, and dump the gravel out. Once all the gravel is out of the tank, then we're going to remove the old distributor, and I'll show you how to do that, and then put the new one in. All right, once we have all the water and gravel and everything out of the tank, we need to remove the old distributor and laterals. There's no fun way to do this, but it has to be done. So if we pull this out, we're going to hit, because the laterals are in there, so we actually need to get our hand down in the tank and slide it up so we can unthread the old laterals. It takes a little maneuvering, but you can do it. You have to take all 8 of these out. Once you have all 8 of them out, this distributor pipe is going to come right out, and you can discard this one. With your rebed stuff, you're going to get a new distributor pipe, and you're going to have to reinstall the new one with the laterals. There's a couple different kinds of laterals. I just grabbed these as the best ones to show you. We have some quick lock ones that are just a single turn, or these that would need to thread in. You can always put a little silicone or anything on these to help thread them in easier. But we're going to do just the opposite of how we took them out. We're going to put the pipe in, take the lateral, thread it in or throw it in, and then thread the lateral into the hub inside of the tank. And don't worry, we only need to do that 8 times. All right, once we have all the new distributor in and all the laterals put on, we can stand the tank back up in place and get ready to refill. Most important step right here is the distributor tube. We need to make sure we don't get any gravel or resin inside of the tube. If we have a cap sent along, you can use a cap, or you can use any kind of a duct tape or any kind of tape to plug the hole. But very important that we don't get anything in the distributor tube. Once the cap is on, we need to center that back in the tank, and we can grab our funnel. If this is a new system, it's going to come with a funnel. If you're ordering rebed materials, make sure that you order a funnel with the rebed materials so you have one. Once we have the distributor centered, we can put our funnel right into the tank. The gravel comes in 50-pound bags. To make it easier, you can always put some of the gravel into a bucket to pour it in. Easier with 2 people on this sometimes, but you want someone to hold the distributor pipe centered while you pour. Once you have all of your gravel poured in, the gravel's gonna go in first, then we're gonna pour the resin. All right, and once all your gravel is in, and you're gonna know how much to put in because you're gonna have the exact amount for each tank sent along, you can start in with the resin. Same thing, we're gonna get up above it, use the funnel, and pour the resin in. Sometimes the resin can be a little bit wet, and you may need to run a hose in there or have another hand with you shaking the funnel, as it'll start to be clumpy and sticky. If you get good dry resin, it'll pour in. Always little tricks that you can do to try to get it to pour better. Once all of your resin's in, make sure everything's cleaned off in the funnel of the cap. Remove the funnel, remove our cap. Once we have the cap removed and funnel removed, we can thread our valve back on and go back into service. And that is how you rebed a water softener. If you're going to rebed a carbon filter, you'd use the exact same steps as you would for rebedding the water softener. You're just going to use carbon for the carbon filter instead of resin for the water softener. Thanks for watching our video on how to do a rebed. You can check out the rest of our maintenance videos at sonnysdirect.com.